Don't blink, it's your boy Yink. Welcome to the show. Because you're doing well, because having a wonderful day on this gorgeous, and I mean gorgeous, 4th August 2025. Uh, Sorry about the last part of the loss. We had a little bit of a, what should I call it? A little bit of a problem. Yeah, a little bit of a problem. This is kind of part two of what we're doing. What was the problem? I'm doing too many things at once. That's the problem. That is the real problem. I tell you what, that's the real problem. So, where we were. So Hugo goes in and he talks to the wife of his friend. So they discovered the number Lenny, which is his friend, and the psych word. I forgot to say that he was in the psych ward. Yes. We don't know why Hugo went to the psych ward. It's tough. I don't know why. Yeah, but I can tell you it was in psych ward. So Lenny went to war or someplace with another guy, and they discovered the numbers. And the other guy used a number to guess the number of beans in a thing, and then him saw a lot of bad luck happening, and he was like, "Yo, these numbers are cursed." So Hugo was like, "So sorry, it's hard, bro, because I watched this 2 days ago." Hugo goes into the farm and asks the wife, "Hey, how about those numbers? Like, you think they're cursed, don't you?" Hugo's like, "Yeah." She's like, "No, they're not cursed." So there was this guy who was offering 50 grand of dollars if you could guess the number of beads. My husband played those numbers and he won. And it was the first time he won in X amount, the first person that won in 40 years. So when it happened, bad things started happening. So the guy bought a farm away from everything, and he was staying there to stop hurting people. And then Hugo's like, "Hey, did it work? Did he stop everybody?" And the girl's like, "Yeah, he shot himself. This is how he ended things." Hugo's like, I don't want to shoot myself. Shot myself. I don't want to shoot myself." It's like, well, and the girl's like, "Well, you don't really have a choice." Um, so yeah, so this is the backstory of Hugo. On this one, we have. I'm trying to see if we have another one. No. So what's next? I don't remember what it is. What's going on in this episode? Okay, so we see Saeed, we bring back Daniel. Saeed shows a number, shows a paper that of notes that he took. So Hugo goes into the papers, they see the numbers, and those are the same number he played for the lottery. So he knows that this island is actually fucking weird. It's like, yo, maybe the answer to all of my question is on this island. You start thinking that, you know what? If the answers are somewhere, it's here. So I thought it was pretty nice. Is it already finished? No, it's not finished. There you go. Okay. Because we're charging the phone also. And it's not ideal. Trust me, it's not ideal. However, we have to finish. We have to do a lot of content today. And I don't have time to do it, so. I don't have time to do it, so we'll do what we can. And if I'm winning, I'm winning. If I'm losing, I'm losing. Um, so you go see the numbers. Like, yo, we need to go to French Stick. And now the reality is, Jack see the paper and said, "Okay, well, this girl, she knows a lot more. She she knows a lot more." And then she says, she has the battery that we need. They need a battery for a transmitter. The goal is still to leave the island. So she's like, "Yo, I need you to go there." And they're asking a lot of questions for Russo, which is Daniel. Then again, you go see the numbers, like, "Yo, I need to go see her." And then Saeed is like, "Bro, you don't want to go there. Why you want to go there?" Like, "Oh, I need to go." Now, there is something that they did that was really well written. Yugo is sort of the comic relief of the show, but Yugo also is beloved. So if somebody can sweet talk Daniel, it's Yugo, which is actually quite nice. The guys are like, "No, you're not going, you're not going." So Yugo goes on a trip for himself to get to Daniel. So he knows how he got there, and he just follows. He did the same thing that Saeed did. Then he find her, and then she finds him, and she's like, "Yo, what happened? What do you want?" He's like, what does those numbers mean to you?" And she's like, "Nothing. I don't know what they mean." So Hugo was looking for answer. He didn't get them. Um, Although I have to say, what I appreciate here is that Hugo isn't alone. Charlie kind of follows him, which is good because no, Charlie doesn't follow him. He doesn't follow him. What am I talking about? What I think that what I think that Charlie doesn't help him at all. That's a Hugo. The guys, he's kind of nuts. See, today we watched from episode 18 to season 2, episode 7. That's why I'm so confused. We have a very cool talk between John and Claire. John is kind of the only person that treats Claire like not she's like useless. People are like, yo, because she's pregnant, nobody can. She can't let's leave the pregnant girl alone. Right? Saeed goes out and then Shannon, what she says to him is like, you're leaving, are you gonna come back? Now Saeed is starting to have a hard time. We need Saeed to be, oh my god, not focused, but kind of focused. We need Saeed as much as possible. So this is actually pretty revealing because Shannon's like, I don't care about other people, I want you to be there. Which is actually kind of sweet because she likes her man. But at the same time, like, yo, this guy is fucking needed. That's one of the most important of the cast. You can't just leave the guy, you know. So yeah, so it's a lot of Hugo following the steps to find Russo. Saeed goes after him, right? And Jack, there's Jack, Saeed, and Charlie that comes in, and they're like, "You, what you're doing?" It's like, "Yo, I need to get the battery." Now, this is a lie. Hugo stepped on a trap. It's just jungle shenanigans. There's a bridge. The bridge is super tiny. Hugo is kind of heavy, so the bridge in itself is not good. For example, Charlie follows Hugo because he cares about Hugo, and there's a bridge that is not well made. And then Hugo goes in. He knows something's gonna happen to him because everything bad luck that happens to people around him, so he's safe. And then Charlie follows him, and then that's what happened. The bridge falls. So Saeed and Jack are kind of gone. And then Charlie gives him shits like, "What's wrong with you?" In this moment, what is super nice is that Charlie says, you're crazy. You're acting like a nut job." It's like he goes like, "No, I'm not crazy," which is possibly something that really bothered him because they possibly thought he was crazy. That's why he was in a psych ward, right? So John is worried about Claire, which kind of sucks because John like Claire? Absolutely. But we know that Claire has been abducted by the others. So John is helping her a lot to remember because he wants to know more about the others. So he's kind of using the fact that she might know something, right? For they go to see Daniel, and then they realize that she completely left. She booby trapped the place. There's a lot of traps that we find. So it's kind of nice, I have to say. It's a nice episode. It's not the most interesting though. Like the trap, everything else. It's just not the best. I feel like I'm missing something. Saeed finds so what happened is Saeed he had his backpack with a picture of his ex-girlfriend, and Daniel just burned everything. So the picture of his ex-girlfriend is not there. Hugo come back with the batteries, and he's like, "I got a battery." Just say that she says hi. So this is kind of important because it means that Daniel doesn't really have hard feelings towards Saeed, which we don't want to have hard feeling because Saeed's part of the main crew, right? We like Saeed and we want it to be okay. Next on this we have Claire. Was a birthday, and only John cared about it, and he was like, "Yo, give me a sec. Food scarce." And John It's a really sweet moments between John and Claire. He brings her a walking chair. This is really cool. Get Charlie, who for once is a good friend, and goes to Hugo and says, "Yo, what is going on? You're acting weird, bro. Tell me what's up." Um, See, Charlie, in my opinion, is not a good friend to Hugo the way he is. However, when you see the flashback, Hugo had a friend like that, so it kind of makes sense. So yeah, not the most interesting episode. Next on the list, we have "Falling from the Sky." I'm not skipping because I'm in a hurry. I'm skipping because there's a lot of things to do. Um, Thinking, okay, Tommy Ciel, Falling from the Sky, thinking that they know how to open the trap. Luck leave with Boone uh, to the interior of the lens. During this, Jack hesitates to give Sawyer some glasses, which is a big spoiler for the show. So this is kind of shitty. The backstory is about Locks. By the way, this is the recap that they give you, which is not really good. So Locke works at a toy shop, which again, problem. It's not a problem, because the first one we saw, John didn't have hair, which could mean that he's getting older. This one, John has hair. Look in the toy shop, and then his mom find him. So we know that he grew up in a foster home because he told us that he grew up in a foster home. In this episode, technically speaking, um, he met a woman. And ended up being his mom. And then she talks to him about how he's special and not supposed to have a relationship with her. And when he asks her, "What about my father?" Because I want to see my father. Like, you're immaculate conception. So this is the craziest thing. So John hires a private eyes. It's like, "Yo, look into it." And the private eyes confirm that she's your mom. It's like, "But what's my father? Like, I cannot help you because your mom, she looked you out. Your father might not want to see you, and better chance that your father doesn't want to see you." His father's kind of like an asshole, by the way. And I would say kind of like an asshole. Why am I smelling burning? No, it's not you. Thank God. Thank God. Dude, this is insane. How much we're working. So then, John meets his father. His father wants to go hunting, so he's like, "Okay, yeah, that's super cool." They get really close, and he's like, "Yo, your mom might be crazy, but she brought us together." It's a really cool scene because you can tell how much John wanted to have a father. See, it's actually a super sucky scene. John backstory, and I just watched one like an episode ago, are often about how shitty his life was out of the island. I was constantly abandoned. I was constantly not wanted. But this is super important. So I want to see where it ends. So there's a shit ton of moments, sweet moments between his father and him. And at the end, his father, and this is the craziest thing, you know right away, Lost is one of the only shows that I know that there's a power, there's a added quality to it to watch it a second time. And the added quality to it is amazing. So, for example, in this episode, or in this particular case, um, John says to his dad, he comes early, he comes at 11 o'clock, and he told me 11, he said, "No, I said 12. So he should have put the dialysis. Then the dialysis is like, "I need a kidney." So John says, "Okay, well, I'm gonna give you my kidney. I wanna help you out." And then the father takes the kidney, and then he runs away. And his father is fucking rich, so he has a good community. He's not, so they basically used him. So then he wakes up in the hospital. It's like, "Yo, where's my father?" It's like, "Oh, he left." It's like, "No, they wouldn't have done that." And then he's like, "Why did he abandon me?" And he's trying to figure out. Then his mom came in and said, "I'm sorry, John, I needed money." So he discovered that it was all a plot to get John's kidney, which is pretty shitty. But again, if you look at the two flashbacks that we had, with what? John getting his kidney conned away from him. And see, John he cannot walk, right? There's a big possibility that it has something to do with with the operation. I have to re-verify. There's another episode where he doesn't have his kidney, and he's out of it. So I don't know if he's walking fine during that. I'd have to see. So it's actually pretty sad. Um, but we have to build a character that doesn't want to go back. You know, yes, like yes, the island is amazing. See, for example, Sawyer. He can do whatever he wants on the island. Kate, she can basically live a free woman in the island. There's a huge chance that if she goes back to the civilization, she'll get put in jail. But she wants to come back. Johnny is the only one who has enough resolve to stay on the island. Now, technically, this is not true because there could be people that there could be other people that want to stay on the island. Um, See, for Daniel, I have a hard time believing that Daniel never tried anything to run away. There's this character called Desmond. I can spoil it. It doesn't matter. You don't know who he is. He never made an effort to leave the island. Well, it's different. You think that he had a mission. Now we have the episode. So, again, Locke thinks that he found a way, which is a trebuchet. He does actually have a lot of knowledge. We see him and Boone, and actually quite special because again, it's always how it works and how well it works. And they build this trebuchet, which is see the thing with Boone is he's the one guy that won't question John. And I think John likes that. I think John needs that because everybody else would think that John is crazy. See, in the last episode, Boone didn't believe John, but then, oh, thank God you told me because you died. Boone didn't believe John, but then John proved to Boone that this island is special by showing him vision, which I thought was special. I thought was actually pretty freaking interesting. However, does it answer every single question? No, because it sucks. It sucks. It doesn't answer every single question because how can I say that? It doesn't answer every single question because we don't know how much John knows. John have questions. In this episode, we're gonna see that John has questions. Jack be lethal, Jack be quick. What the hell's the moral? Alibi is turn quick. So tell me, we don't know much about John, and like I said yesterday, the little that we know about John, we don't know if it's true or he lied. John is a liar, which is a big thing about his personality. Next. They build the trebuchet, and the trebuchet don't work. So then Boone starts to doubt, say, yo, there's no way to open this. Now, this is a huge problem because there's a whole island, you know? Once again, Boone doubts. The trebuchet fell, right? And John gets injured. Then he has a dream. And this one is truly phenomenal. Truly, truly phenomenal. He has a vision. In his vision, we see Boone, who is full of blood, and he's screaming, Teresa fell. Teresa fell. And it's nuts because how can I say this? I didn't really perceive it in the beginning. I don't know if it's this episode. If it's not in this episode, I'm spoiling a big amount for you guys. Yeah. It's in this one. Nice. So you see Boone being all bloodied and all like wounded and shit like that, and it's horrible. And in this episode, you'll find a plane. We're gonna get back to the plane. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a huge spoiler. There's a character introduced in season 2, which is Echo. And when you know Echo, I think he's behind the Arrow plane. and this is a huge part. So, um, what happened is, John and Boone, they fell. John sees Boone all bloodied and all like wounded, and he goes to the plane. It's like, yo, you need to do it. You need to do it because my leg is fucked up. See, John will get wounded during the temperature fall. He'll have a piece of shrapnel in his leg. Now, the craziest thing is, he see John Boone being bloodied. Like, I need to sacrifice Boone, and then I didn't even realize it. I didn't even realize he pushed Boone in that plane because he knew he was gonna get hurt, and he literally says later on, Boone was a sacrifice that the island needed. My first watch, I didn't check that out. I didn't pick it out. So this is humongous. See the trebuchet. The fact that he did the trebuchet is actually quite impressive. So Boone once again asked him, "Dude, how do we know we need to do this?" And then John is like, "Who's Teresa?" And it's like, "How do you know about this? This is the nanny." And this is the insane thing. He tells him how she fell down. So I think that because of that, John knows that Boone has to fall down. Question is, from where? So we have Sawyer, who constantly has a headache. Now this is actually quite fun, because the interaction between Sawyer and the rest of the camp are rare. So then Jack does a couple of tests on Sawyer, and he asks him a question, and it's fun because he's making fun of Sawyer. It's like, yo, did you ever have sex with a prostitute? So it's like, yeah. What that has to do with anything? Yes. And then it's like, he only needs glasses. So Sawyer started reading a lot on the island, and he didn't read before, but he started reading a lot. He didn't have the best vision. He didn't have the best vision. It gave him headache. Now he's getting headache every single day. Now the cool thing is that it's Kate that takes care of him. So how she discovered it is, she goes to that. This is what I remember a lot. She goes to the son and she's like, "What did you want?" Because he wants some plants. And she asks son, "What did he tell you you want?" It's like, "He wants that because he has headache." And she's like, "This guy has a lot of Tylenol. Why?" And son says, "He said that the pills doesn't work." So this is something bad. It's something that's neurological. Of course, they go with Jack. Now, there's a really so cool scene in this one where Kate tells Jack, "Thank you for helping Sawyer." And Jack's like, "I didn't do it for him. I did it for you." Which I thought was quite touching. I thought was quite nice. John tells his secret to Boone, how he was paralyzed and how he was in a chair. He is the only person that knows so far. I don't know if we're gonna know later on, but as of right now, this is it. The funny thing is, you see the plane. Now, it's weird because he sends Boone in a plane, but there's not really a reason as to why. So, for example, right, he could be saying like, "Yo, Boone, we need that plane to fall on the hatch, and then we'll find it." In the plane, there's Nigerian money. So we know that a character called Mr. Echo is from Nigeria. We know that a character named Echo used to smuggle drugs. So that could be him. And then, I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know if it's him. I think it's him, but I'm not sure. Oh, holy fuck. What a day. What a day. What a night. You're almost dry. You're almost dry. I got 3 hours. Okay, that's good. Okay, next. So they go to the plane and they find the Virgin Mary. Now, the craziest thing is, the Virgin Mary is a way because Echo comes from a place where there's a lot of priests. So it could be that. But the Virgin Mary is a religious symbol, and John believed on the island, which is kind of insane. And when I say insane, it's insane. Now, the episode is finished. I wanted to wait until the end to tell you the best part about it. When the trebuchet fell, John says, "Hey, why? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you testing me?" And at the same time, we're seeing the same episode when his father took his kidney. John wants to talk to him, say, "Hey, why did you do that?" And then his father's like, "No, I don't want to see you. Don't even let him on my property. Don't let him in. Don't let him anywhere near." Oh, 30%. I have time for one more. Pretty sure about that. So I thought that was pretty cool because John is like, yo, and he hits his car and he's mad. So when he does that, when he is, it's so fucking nice. It's so fucking nice. When he does that, he's like, hey, he does the same thing about that. And why are you doing this to me? He tells the father, why did you do this to me? Am I forgetting? Yeah, he started to lose his. So he gets a shot onto the leg, which is his right leg, and then he started to lose the legs. He started to lose the ability to walk. He becomes paralyzed once again. Now, why is that so cool? Because he says to Island, don't take it back. Please don't take it back. So when he sacrifices Boone, he sacrifices Boone because he wants to walk. As simple as this. As simple as this. So now the whole episode is so amazing because Boone is really wounded. So we have Jack trying to save him. This backstory is Jack. In this one, I gotta be honest. If you ask me on my first watch if the flashback was good, I would have said no, it's not great. Now this one is amazing. So he has his wife, which is Claire. Her name is Claire, and her name and one of her family is Claire, which is also super fucking cool. So what happened is he has this patient. He doesn't know how to save her. He doesn't know because she's completely paralyzed, and he's like, I'm not able to save her. I'm not able to save her. I'm not able to save her, right? And then with Boone, he's not able to save her. At the end, how it finished, he's able to help Claire and able to save Boone, which is fucking amazing. That is such a good. It's the flashbacks are usually like situation happen and this is how we fix it. This is how we work together. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. Fuck 9% shit. You know what? I'll give you guys a deal. Let's finish the There's a flashback and then we're finished. Because I have to go. This battery's gonna die. And this phone is almost full. Plus in 2 hours I have to go to an appointment. I'd like to sleep a little bit. He's writing the vow. The whole thing is Jack cannot write the vow. And it's kinda nice. We see relationship between the father and the son, which is absolutely phenomenal because you think the father doesn't like him, but in the end the father is actually really nice to him. So Claire is his wife, she's like, you have to write your vows, and he's not able to. And then his father reads the vows and like, what are you gonna do? And he tells him, hey, if you love her, you don't need to write anything. So then he comes to the altar and he says, I didn't fix you that day, you fixed me. I think why? I think because he was able to perform a surgery that nobody else could perform. But the main part of the flashback is what? Is he couldn't save her, he cannot save Boone. His father and him have a good relationship, which I love. That's pretty much it. So I'll see you guys soon for episode 20. No flashbacks. Good, we did 2 episodes in 28 minutes. It's going well.